Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to have our lecture number 10 and it is all about auxiliary verb. Students, in this video we will study 3 auxiliaries: to be, to have, to do. Next we will study auxiliaries function and their rules, how they are going to implement with respect to the subject, tenses, mood of verb and passive voice. And lastly, you will going to have practice set with answers. So let us start our today's lecture. Well students, I am mindful that this video is covering a lot of enlightening material that you really need. Let us start our today's topic. Before moving towards the main topic, let me just tell you why should you care about auxiliary verb. If you start learning a foreign language, it won't be too long before you will learning about how to express tense, mood and voice. So let us start the topic. An auxiliary verb is used with the main verb to express the main verb's tense, mood or voice. It is also called helping verb. As the name implies, helping verb actually helps out the main verb in a sentence in order to clarify the tense, mood or the voice. The main auxiliary verbs are be, have and do. They appear in different forms. To be will appear as am, is, are, was, were, being, been, will be. Whereas to have will appear as has, have, had, having, will have. To do will appear as does, do, did, will do. Let us now study that how the to be verb is going to express with respect to the subject. It is very much necessary whenever you are going to choose the to be verb that should be according to the subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement is if you are going to use the singular helping verb, then it should take the singular subject. And if you are going to take the plural helping verb, then the plural subject should be taken. For the present, we are going to use am, are and is. Is going to use for singular, whereas am is going to use only with I and are is going to use with the plurals. Whereas was is going to use in a past tense for singular and were is going to use for plural in a past tense. Will be is going to use in a future along with is, am, are. Next is to do auxiliary verb. Do is going to use do or does is used in present tense, whereas did is used in a past tense. Do is used with a list of the subjects I, you, we, they, whereas does is used with he, she, it. And in negation sentences or in a negative sentences we use does not or do not. Whereas in a past tense we use did with the first form of a verb and did is used with the whole category of the subject. It is I, you, we, they, he, she, it. Means either the subject is singular or plural, we are going to use did in past tense. Whereas in negation sentences or in a negative sentences we use didn't. Next we are going to use to have verb. Have is going to use with the list of subjects like I, you, we, they and plural nouns. whereas has is going to use with a list of subjects like he, she, it, singular noun. Whereas for the past tense, we are going to have any subject, then we will take had. So in simple words, had is used with the whole list of subjects in past tense. Now students, we are going to deal with the auxiliaries function. And in functions, we are firstly dealing with the tenses. That how auxiliaries are going to act as a tenses. Let us look on present simple forms. In a present tense, we use first form of a verb along with s and es in a positive sentences. But to make the negative sentence, we have to use do or does according to our sentence along with not. Similarly, in interrogative sentences, we have to just place these helping verb do or does in the start of the sentence in order to make the sentence in a question form. Next is present progressive tense. The main verb of the present progressive tense is first form of a verb plus ing, whereas the helping verbs are is, am, are. They are going to be according to the subject in a sentence. Whenever we are going to make the present progressive in a negative sense, we may just add not to the helping verbs. It will be like am not, is not, are not. And whenever we are going to make interrogative sentence, we are going to place the set of or the helping verbs in the start of this sentence to make it interrogative sentence. Similarly, in present perfect tense, third form of a verb is used and we have to use has or have as a helping verb depending upon the subject. Similarly, has not and have not is used in a negative sentences, whereas the has and have is placed in the start of the sentence in order to make the sentence in a question sense. Next is present perfect progressive forms. In this tense, we are going to have first form of a verb due to progressive thing. We are going to add ing with the first form. As the perfect part is also here, so we are going to add been. Has and have are the helping verbs here, like we are going to use them has been and have been. Similarly, if you are going to make it a negative sentence, you can use not with it, like have not been, has not been. Similarly, in order to make the question sentence, you are going to place this helping verb in the start of the sentence to look like as interrogative sense. Next is past tense. Now we are going to deal the whole category of the past tense. In simple past tense, we usually use second form of a verb in positive sentences. However, in negative sentences, we use did. And along with did, we use first form of a verb. Don't forget to use first form of a verb after did. Similarly, if you are going to make interrogative sentence, then did is going to place in start of the sentence. Next is present progressive tense. In present progressive tense, main form or main verb is first form of a verb plus ing, as it is the progressive part. In progressive part, we always place first form of a verb in ing, and due to the past effect on this category, we are placing helping verb was and were. Was and were is going to be used according to each sentence and according to the subject available. Whenever you are going to make it in a negative sentence, you are going to simply place not with was and were. it will look like as was not, were not. Similarly, if you are going to place it as in the start of the sentence, then it will sense you like interrogative. Next is past perfect tense. In past perfect tense, we use third form of a verb, and due to the past effect, we have to use had in this. Had is the helping verb here, whereas third form is the main verb here. Whenever you are going to make it in a negation, you will use had not with all category of the subjects. Either it is singular or plural. Similarly, for interrogative sentences, you have to place had in the start of the sentence. It will give you a sense of interrogative. Next is past perfect continuous tense or past progressive forms. In this form, we have to use first form of a verb with ing due to the progressive part in it, and due to the perfection in it, we have to use had been in this category. Next is future. Don't forget that in future we always have to use will and shall. In future simple tense, we have to use first form of a verb, whereas helping verb will be will and shall depending upon the subject. Whenever you are going to make this in a negation or a negative sentence, then you will simply add not with will and shall. It will sense you like will not and shall not. And whenever you are going to place will and shall in the start of the sentence, it will give you interrogative sense. Next is future progressive form or future progressive tense. In this category, we are going to use first form of a verb with ing, and we have to use be with shall or will. Depends upon your subject. It will looks like as will be and shall be. And similarly, whenever you are going to make the negative sentence, you will simply add not with it, and it will sense you like will not be, shall not be. And same case in the interrogative sentence will apply, that will be and shall be according to the subject is going to place in the start of the sentence, then it will give you a sense of interrogation. Next is future perfect form or future perfect tense. For the perfect part in it, we are going to use the third form of a verb, and for the future impact, we have to use will have as a helping verb here. Will have or shall have depends upon your subject. Same case for the negative sentences. Will not have or shall not have will be used in negative sentences, whereas will have is placed in the start of the sentence, shall have is going to place in the start of the sentence, and it will give you an interrogative sense. Last one is future perfect progressive forms. In this tense, we are going to have first form of a verb plus ing. This is the main verb, whereas the helping verb part in it is will have been or shall have been. You are going to choose will have been or shall have been depending upon the subject available with you. And similarly, you in the form of negative sentences, you are going to simply place not with it. It will give you a sense like will not have been, shall not have been. And same case for the interrogative sentences. This was the comprehensive look of all three auxiliaries functioning as tenses. Now we are going to have a look on the examples expressing the tenses. Here are some examples of the auxiliary verbs expressing tenses. In these examples, the main verbs are in bold and auxiliary verbs are highlighted. Number one example is, she was waiting for an hour. In this example, was is actually highlighted and it is auxiliary verb, whereas waiting is first form for verb with ing. Second example is, she is waiting in the hall. In this example, is highlighted and it is auxiliary verb, whereas waiting is the first form of a verb along with ing. Third example is, she will be waiting outside. Will be is actually the auxiliary verb here, which is highlighted, whereas waiting is actually a verb. In each of these examples, the auxiliary verb to be helps to form the progressive tense, which is the tense used for ongoing actions. We will read out the tenses in a great detail along with your examples in a separate video consisting of the title with the tenses. Definition of mood of verb. Now, second function which auxiliaries perform is as a mood of a verb. In grammar, mood is used to refer to a verb category or form which indicates whether the verb expresses a fact. Fact means that is called indicative mood, a command which is called imperative mood, a question that is called interrogative mood, a condition which is called conditional mood, or a wish or possibility to do something or to happen something, that is called subjunctive mood. Now let us deal with the examples of auxiliaries verb expressing the mood. Here are some examples of auxiliary verb being used to express mood. Example number 1, did you win? In this example, did is highlighted and the auxiliary verb to do is used to form the interrogative mood, means to ask the question. Example number 2, don't forget your wallet. In this example, auxiliary verb to do in its negative form is used to form the imperative mood. Imperative means the mood in which order is given. Next is auxiliaries verb. Next is examples of auxiliary verbs expressing voice. Here are some examples of auxiliary verbs expressing voice. Voice is actually the thing in which a verb is said to be in the passive voice when its subject does not perform the action of a verb, but has the action done to it. Let us deal with examples now. In example number 1, our dessert was eaten by the dog. In this example, was is actually showing us the auxiliary verb. Example number 2, the geese are driving through the thicket. In this example, are is actually the auxiliary verb. The phone will be disconnected tomorrow. In this example, will be is auxiliary verb. Now we are going to look on the comprehensive examples regarding the auxiliary depends upon their functions. Number 1, tense. Example in the tense is, he had eaten the whole pie. In this example, had is actually indicating us that it is the past perfect tense along with the main verb. It is acting as helping verb. He was snoring all night. In this example, was is actually indicating us that it is the past tense, and snoring is actually indicating us that it is main form of a verb along with the ing, which is usually from the progressive tense, so it is past progressive tense. Next function is auxiliaries acting as a mood. Did it grow well? In this example, did is actually used in interrogative mood. Do you try our tracts? In this example, do is used in imperative mood. Next, the last function of auxiliaries is acting as a voice. The pie was eaten by the dog. It is a passive voice. Now students, let us implement the concept of all three auxiliaries according to their function on the quiz. Let us have a quiz. Number 1. I dash see you tomorrow. A. Will. B. Going to. C. Am. D. Do. Number 2. She dash finished lunch by the time he arrived. A. Has. B. Had. C. Was. D. Did. Number 3. What time dash he usually get up? A. Do. B. Does. C. Is. D. Has. Number 4. They dash getting ready when she arrived. A. Did. B. Have. C. Were. D. Do. Number 5. I dash used to make so many mistakes. A. Didn't. B. Don't. C. Hadn't. D. Wouldn't. Number 6. They dash been waiting for more than 3 hours. A. Were. B. Has. C. Have. D. Did. Number 7. What time dash the plane leave? A. Is. B. Do. C. Does. D. Have. Number 8. She dash have finished the work by the time you get back. A. Does. B. Is. C. Had. D. Will. Number 9. We dash sitting on the beach this time next week. A. Are. B. Will be. C. Will have. D. Are going to. Number 10. Dash you had lunch yet. A. Did. B. Has. C. Have. D. Will. Now students, you are required to pause the video here and mark your answers from 1 till 10. I hope so that you have been marked your answers. Let us check the answers. Number 1 goes with A. Number 2 goes with B. Number 3 goes with B. Number 4 goes with C. Number 5 goes with A. Number 6 goes with C. Number 7 goes with C. Number 8 goes with D. Number 9 goes with B. Number 10 goes with C. I hope so that your all answers are correct. If not, then don't worry. Just go back to the video, replay it, and get the concepts. Try to recall the concepts again and again. I hope so. You will definitely do it. Thank you.